So, this happened last October, and I still don't know what to make of it. I live alone, small apartment, just outside downtown Phoenix. Nothing fancy, but it's quiet, usually. I work remote, graphic design stuff, so I tend to keep weird hours. Sleep late, work in the evenings, lots of headphones and energy drinks. You get the vibe. Anyway, it was a Thursday night, technically Friday morning, like 1:30 a.m. I'd pulled a long work stretch and realized I hadn't eaten anything since lunch. I didn't feel like cooking, and all I had in the fridge was a sad bag of spinach and some expired hummus. So I pulled up Uber Eats. There weren't many places still delivering that late, just the usual 24-hour joints. I ended up ordering from a local burger place I'd tried once before. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke. Nothing weird. I remember checking the app to see the ETA said 22 minutes. The driver's name was Chris. Profile pic showed a middle-aged white guy in a ball cap. Seemed normal enough. I left the hallway light on and kept working while I waited. I was half zoning out when I got the notification. Chris is approaching with your order. Cool. I muted Spotify and got up to wait by the door. That's when the first thing happened. I never heard the car. My apartment's on the ground floor, and you can always hear tires on the gravel out front, even with my windows shut. But there was nothing. Then I got the second notification. Your order has been delivered. I stared at the screen. It showed the typical photo of the delivery, where they snap your food sitting on the doormat. But this one was weird. It wasn't my doormat. The mat was gray and had a floral design. Mine's brown with a big welcome on it. And the photo looked like it was taken in the dark, no porch light, just a weak flash. It lit up the bag but left everything else in shadow. I felt a weird chill creep down my spine. I double-checked my address in the app. It was right, so I opened the door. Nothing. No food, no sign anyone had been there. Street was dead quiet. No headlights. No Chris. I texted the driver through the app. Hey, I think you delivered to the wrong address. There's nothing at my door. No response. I waited a few minutes, then reported it through the app. They offered a refund or redelivery. I picked redelivery. I was too tired to cook. Then I went back to my desk and my stomach dropped. The light on my webcam was on. I use an external camera for Zoom calls. The only time the light comes on is when it's recording or streaming. But no apps were open. Nothing should have been using it. I unplugged it immediately. Stared at the black lens, feeling suddenly very exposed. It was just one of those moments where you feel watched, even if you can't explain why. 15 minutes later, there was a knock at the door. A knock, not a doorbell, which is what delivery drivers always use. And it was soft. 2 light taps. I hesitated, looked through the peephole. There was a man standing there. No uniform, no thermal delivery bag. Just a guy. Late 40s maybe, kind of gaunt. Baseball cap like the app photo, but no smile, no phone in his hand. Just standing there looking at the door. I froze, didn't say anything. He knocked again, a little louder. Then I swear this is true, he reached for the doorknob. Tried to turn it. It was locked, thank God. I stepped back, heart pounding. Then I heard him say through the door, voice low and raspy, I brought your food. No thank you. No sorry for the mix-up. Just that flat, dead voice. I brought your food. I didn't answer. Just stood there. Eventually, I heard footsteps walking away. I stayed frozen for what felt like an hour, even though it was probably 60 seconds. When I finally worked up the nerve to peek outside, he was gone. But there was no food on the doorstep. Nothing. I called Uber support. Told them the guy didn't match the photo. Told them he tried to open my door. They were polite, said they'd investigate, flagged the account, the usual corporate script. But I couldn't shake the feeling that the photo in the app did match. He looked like the guy, but there was something off. Later that night, like 4 a.m., I was lying in bed, trying to convince myself it was just a weird delivery mix-up, when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Just a text. You should lock your windows, too. My heart nearly stopped. I jumped up and ran to check every window. All locked, all closed, but I still couldn't breathe right. I ended up sleeping with a knife under my pillow and every light in the apartment on. The next day, I bought a security camera and installed it above my door. Canceled my Uber Eats account. Haven't used it since. Here's the part that keeps me up, though. A week later, I saw a post on Reddit, local Phoenix subreddit. Someone asking if anyone else had weird experiences with a delivery guy in a baseball cap. Said he showed up late at night with food they never ordered. Tried to get into their house. Another person replied saying something similar happened to them in Tempe. Different name on the app. Same ball cap. Same knock. I saved the post. But when I went back to show a friend, it was gone. Deleted. Like it never existed. I still check the security footage sometimes. Most nights it's empty. But 2 weeks ago at 3:12 a.m., the camera caught something. Just a flash, a figure at the edge of the frame, standing in the bushes across from my unit. Watching. I filed a report. Cops said they'd look into it. Haven't heard back. I don't know what he wanted. I don't know if he was ever really with Uber Eats. But something tells me he wasn't interested in delivering food. And I think he's still out there. Look, I know it's a little cliche to say something changed me forever, but I swear, after what happened last spring, I can't even hear that Uber Eats chime without my chest tightening. This isn't some Reddit creepypasta. I'm not a writer. I'm just a guy who got hungry one night, and now I double-check every lock in my apartment twice. 3 times sometimes. It was March. I was in Boston for work, a 2-week software training thing. They put me up in a furnished Airbnb in Somerville. Cute little duplex, kind of old, creaky floors, that faint musty smell older places have. It had character. I didn't mind it. The job stuff ran long that day, and I got back to the rental around 9:30 p.m. I was starving. Too late to head out anywhere decent, and I didn't know the area well. So I opened the app, found a Thai place nearby, and ordered pad see ew and dumplings. Comfort food. Everything was normal at first. Driver's name was Ravi. Young guy, decent rating. The map showed him on the way. I was scrolling through Instagram when the notification popped up. Your food has arrived. I opened the door. No one was there. No bag, no car pulling away, just the quiet street and a single street lamp flickering across the road. I stood there for a second, confused. Then I checked the photo in the app. Same as last time, the delivery pic they sent. Only, this one was even stranger. It showed my exact front porch. Same old wooden steps. Same rusty mailbox. Except there was a detail I hadn't noticed before. The photo showed the basement door open. Now the duplex had a side door that led to a basement. The owner had mentioned it in the welcome email. Something like storage only, locked. Please don't enter. I never touched it. But in the photo, it was cracked open, just a sliver, and the light from the flash hit the top step, like someone had been heading down when they took the picture. My stomach dropped. I went outside and checked again. Still no food. And now the basement door was open. Just slightly. A few inches, like someone hadn't shut it all the way. I stood frozen on the porch, holding my phone like a weapon. Then I heard it. A soft thump from down there. Then nothing. I backed away from the steps and locked the door behind me. My hands were shaking. I called the Airbnb host. No answer. Left a message like, "Hey, I think someone might have gone into your basement." Then I called Uber Eats. They offered a refund and apologized, said the driver had marked the delivery complete. They had no idea why the photo showed the basement. I didn't sleep that night. I dragged the desk in front of the door and left all the lights on. My heart kept leaping at every creak of the house, every gust of wind rattling the windows. In the morning, I went outside again. The basement door was shut now, but sitting right on the top step inside the door was the bag of food. Cold, greasy, just sitting there, like someone wanted me to come down and get it. I didn't touch it. I just stood there staring at it, heart pounding. Then I did something I'm still not sure was brave or stupid. I crouched and snapped a photo with my phone and zoomed in. You could see footprints. Just barely a smear of something, maybe oil or dirt, going down the steps. And on the wall, there was a handprint. Long fingers, smudged, like someone braced themselves there or watched. I called the host again, more urgent this time. He finally picked up. Sounded confused at first, then worried. Told me he never goes in the basement, hadn't opened that door in months. He lived out of state. Said he'd call someone to check it. I left the place that night. Checked into a hotel downtown. Ate dinner in a brightly lit lobby, full of strangers and cameras. I thought that was the end of it. Until 2 weeks later. I was back home in Chicago. It was a Sunday afternoon, and I decided to order lunch. I'd mostly stopped using Uber Eats, but I figured daylight was safe. Right, I ordered a sandwich. Nothing weird. Same pattern. Driver picked it up en route approaching, and then the notification. Your food has arrived. Only this time there was no foe. Just a message from the driver. It's downstairs. I live on the 3rd floor. There is no downstairs where food gets delivered. I opened the door. Nothing there. But far below, in the entryway of my building, I heard a door close. That heavy, slow creak of the back basement door we never use, the one that leads to the old storage lockers. I stared down the stairwell, not breathing. And then I heard it. Just a voice. Quiet, almost playful. You left your dinner in Boston. I reported everything. Uber couldn't trace the message, said the account had been deleted. I asked the building super to check the basement. He said there was nothing there. No one. But every once in a while, I still get a blank text. No number. No words. Just a timestamp. Always around dinner time. And I swear, one night, I saw a shape in the alley behind my building. A man wearing an Uber Eats thermal bag, just standing. Watching. I turned away to call someone, and when I looked back, he was gone. I haven't ordered delivery since. I cook now, every night. Doors locked, curtains drawn, always upstairs. Because I don't care if I'm starving, I'm never going down those steps. People always assume being an Uber Eats driver is boring. Or dangerous in the usual ways, bad tips, drunk customers, maybe the occasional sketchy parking lot. But that night, that was different. That was something else entirely. I've been driving for Uber Eats since 2020. Started during the pandemic, stuck between jobs, and just never really stopped. Nights are best. Less traffic, faster tips, and yeah, fewer entitled office types asking if you read the note while their dog lunges at your ankles. This was maybe 5 months ago. February, I think. Cold, slushy Boston night. I remember because my boots were soaked by 9 p.m., and I'd already slipped twice carrying food across icy driveways. I was about to call it for the night when one last ping came through. Thai food. Decent payout, delivery just 10 minutes away. Apartment complex near Brookline. Address was 238 Pine Ridge, Building B, Unit 6B. I picked it up. No issues. Restaurant was dead, food was hot. Smooth so far. When I pulled up to the complex, it was quiet. Like too quiet. No music, no voices, no TVs glowing behind windows. Just these long, ugly gray buildings under yellowish parking lights. Still, I've seen worse. I found Building B and climbed the stairs to the 6th floor. No elevator, of course. The hallway smelled like mildew and lemon cleaner. Peeling beige wallpaper. Carpet that squished under your boots. I found 6B. There was no delivery note, just leave at door. Standard stuff, but the door, something about it felt off. Like it was too clean. Everything else in the hall was run down, but this door was freshly painted. Dark blue, no scuffs, shiny brass numbers. And taped across the peephole, not a note, not a do not disturb sign, but a strip of black tape. That stopped me. I stood there holding the food, staring at it. I don't even know why it creeped me out so much. Maybe it was the fact that someone deliberately covered the peephole, not from inside, but from outside. I set the bag down, snapped the usual photo for proof, and turned to go. But just as I started down the hall, I heard it. A voice, soft, from behind the door. You don't have to leave yet. I froze. Didn't turn around right away, just stood there, pulse jumping in my neck. Then it came again, quieter this time. Please don't go. I turned. The bag was still there. Door still closed. But I could hear breathing now. Right up against the other side. Slow. What? I cleared my throat and said, orders at the door. Have a good night. Then I walked. Quickly. I didn't run, didn't want to panic, but I didn't look back either. I was halfway down the stairs when the app buzzed again. A message from the customer. Come back. I stopped cold. Another message came through. I can't open the door. You have to come in. Now I was freaked. That wasn't a normal message. There was no please or thank you, no explanation, just commands. And then the third message. A photo. It was blurry, but I knew what I was looking at. It was me. From behind. Taken just moments before, in that hallway. Standing in front of her door, holding the bag. There was no one else up there. I ran. I don't even care how it looked. I ran down those 6 flights, nearly twisted my ankle. Got in my car, locked the doors, peeled out of that lot like it was on fire. Once I was back on the main road, I pulled over to breathe. My hands were shaking. I opened the app to report the user. But the order was gone. Like completely erased. No chat history, no delivery log. I checked my earnings tab, there was a payout, sure. But it just said anonymous, $0 tip. I reported the whole thing anyway. Uber support sent back the usual scripted garbage. We'll look into this account. Thank you for your feedback. That night I slept with the kitchen light on. And here's the part that really gets under my skin. A couple weeks later, I ended up chatting with another driver at a gas station. Older guy, probably 60s, real Boston accent. We were both waiting on orders, just shooting the breeze. I told him about what happened, not the whole thing, just mentioned a weird drop-off at Pine Ridge. And his face changed. Real slow. He said 6B. I nodded. He stared at me for a long second, then said, that unit has been empty since last summer. Some lady died in there. Real bad smell, neighbors reported it. Took weeks to clean it out. No one has rented it since. I asked how he knew. He just shook his head and said, don't take orders from Pine Ridge anymore. That place keeps calling people. I still drive. Still need the money. But every night before I accept an order, I check the address first. And if I see Unit 6B, I don't care if it's a $30 payout, I swipe decline. Because I don't think anyone's eating in there. And whatever's waiting on the other side of that door, it doesn't want food. It wants company.